Hi there, my name's Pete Paul, and I just wanted to share a brief story of my life and I think what has ended up being a very compelling value proposition with you in a couple minutes' time. I was flying medevac in a service business for heart and lung transplant, saving people's lives, really enjoyed it. Technology usurped my position, lost my job, was broke at home, and didn't really know what I was going to do. Read through an article and found something that said, twist drills, when treated as low as 300 degrees below zero, can go as much as 300 to 500% longer. Most people would turn the page, and for me, it was at one of those eureka moments that I can trace back to and take a look at. And so I started digging into it, and I found out that, wow, this is remarkable. It uses nitrogen, which is from the air, zero emissions business, and it makes things last longer, significantly last longer. Like brake rotors last 300% longer for about 20% cost. So in my mind, I thought, gosh, it's kind of like taking a quarter and turning it into $3 bills, 300% longer. And so the more I dug into it, found out, wow, I know computers control things, but how do they control things and not just data? So started tinkering with my wife's hair dryer in their basement and come to find out, okay, process control, and I was down to my last $300 there and invested that. Family was broke. My two sons that Christmas, literally at the ages of 5 and 7, their Christmas presents were a wreath that I put together by hand. Very, very hard and heartening as a father for our family to do that. But got to the point where we could make a little machine that would process, and so it turns out I end up with the coolest business in the world and start processing items, and nobody knows what I'm doing. They've never heard of this before, so it's a very challenging marketing sale. And so I'm in the process of trying to sell, go out the front door and turn right, turn left, and very, very challenging. But put everything I had into it. Got to the point where, true story, actually my last 25 cents, I actually had to dig in the seat for it, had a half a tank of gas, and I thought, well, going to meet a customer, and if they say no, I've lost it. And so drop the quarter in the pay telephone. This is back before cell phones. Back in the early 90s, and I call a fellow at a heat treater in Danville, Illinois, and go over and see him, make the best pitch I can about processing metals. And he says, gee, that's great, but I just don't have any need for that. And I was crestfallen, sitting in the chair, recognizing that my dream as an entrepreneur was stopping. I said, can I borrow your phone? And he said, sure. So I said, is there another heat treater in town? He said, yep. So I called him, and that gentleman went over and saw him, and he ended up buying the processor, and so literally from that last 25 cents, bought my little cobbled together processor for $7,000, looked like all the money in the world to me. Now today, we've processed over 20 million pounds of various items, from razor blades. Razor blades go about 300% longer. Gillette doesn't like us very well. But brake rotors. We treat the brake rotors on just about every ambulance in New York City. That makes them last longer, so they're not in the bay, so they can pick up people and save lives. And with COVID, this has been a major benefit. So that led us into Uber, and now we're starting to go into Amazon, and we're on the largest private fleet in America, tripling the life of brake rotors for them. So we're a material science company, the coolest company in the world, because we operate at 300 degrees below zero. And the process is permanent, irreversible molecular change to the structure, and it makes things like guitar strings sound brighter. They don't break. They stay in tune longer. So we've treated between 2,000 and 3,000 miles of guitar string a year now. Typically, we'll average about 1 million pounds of guitar string a million pounds of materials per year in processing. Could be anything from, those little sprinklers up above your head that spray down. They were having a corrosion problem. So now we've solved that corrosion problem for them, and they last long enough that we do about 250,000 of them per year. So myriad of small niche businesses in service to people, families, all kinds of different businesses where we save resources, but for 20% cost, we can make something last 300% longer. It's an incredible value proposition, and we make tremendous profitability. Our cost is about 10 cents, and we sell it for about $3. So we're really good at what we do, except for one thing. We don't know how to get out of our own way marketing. And for that, we seek humbly your ability to bring us forward and boost us. The name of the company is 300 Below. It's easy to find, 300below.com. My name's Pete Paulin. I'm the founder of the company. We started about 30 years ago. Still a small family business. We're in 17,000 square feet now with employees. Computers run the operation. Green business, service business to people, saving resources. A very compelling value proposition. And we'd love to have an opportunity to come in and join with Harmon and boost this forward. Thank you so much for your audience.